All right, gang, and welcome to Plexus International. Today we're going to be talking about the top 3 things when it comes to measurement systems analysis that we see as contractors going in to help companies. So if you find yourself in some of these boats, good news is you are unique, but not different. And so let's go ahead and kick it off with number 1. And I will say number 1 in terms of a ranked categorization is not only my first one, but it is the most heavily weighted. We see measurement systems analysis studies performed by organizations and people in conditions that do not match the reality of where that measurement system is actually going to be utilized. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's say that you're going to utilize this measurement system out on the floor on third shift, right? And it's dusty, it's a little bit dirty, it's a little bit noisy. We will see the measurement system studies performed in a perfectly quiet environment by overqualified people. And the reality is that the system that you put together and the validation that you did on it is not going to match one bit what happens when it goes out into the real world. So that is the first major hurdle. And to overcome that, I always have a rule that I do my MSA studies with the people in the environment and the time that we are going to be doing it in mass production. Now, the second thing is there is inconsistency in the area of a visual inspection, especially between the training for the people that do the MSA and the reality of people on the floor. Now, this might seem an awful lot like the issue in number 1, but in effect is different. Let's say that you do the MSA with the minimum level of training that you will give somebody, say, in a temp role in your organization. And the way it works in the measurement system, as long as you deliver the same level of training, there's no variation within the system. What we're talking about in step 2 here is when you have a proven system with little variation, and when you bring people in, you are inconsistent in the application of the training to make sure that that variation is similar. Folks, when you put together a measurement system study of any form, and we're talking right now about visual inspection, you want to make sure that once it's established and that variation is known, that you go through and you make sure the people that are doing that inspection have an exact same level of training when it comes to mass production. Not just today, but tomorrow, a month from now, or a year from now. So that's number 2. Now, the third and final one, is an over-reliance on visual inspection. Folks, when it comes to inspection, measurement systems analysis, there are tools and techniques such as cross-tabulation that will give you the miss rate and the false alarm rate. And when we see people make mistakes in this area, it's because they don't realize what these studies are telling them. And so there's an over-reliance on the effectiveness of a visual inspection. Now, I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that visual inspection is not effective. If something is red and something else is blue, it's very easy to tell red from blue. This assumes, of course, that they saw the part go past them. But the thing that I want to bring up in this third area, visual inspection has a time and a place, and you need those MSA studies to determine how effective a visual inspection will be in your particular scenario. All right, so those are the top 3. The first one is performing MSA studies that have nothing to do with how they're actually going to be used out on the floor. The second one is once it does go out onto the floor, making sure that the people that do the studies get a consistent level of training. And the third and final one is utilizing visual inspection where it is appropriate and where it can be effective. All right, so if you like this and you want more on MSA, if you want more on any sort of gauge R&R or all things manufacturing, check us out at plexusintl.com for the latest and greatest on standards, core tools, manufacturing related stuff. All right, we'll see you in the next one.